Well, I'm probably one of the Formula One drivers that has a lot of experience. 40 years of motorsport, 20 years of Formula One, and even more. I've been always sort of focusing on road safety. I'm ambassador of the Make Road Safe campaign with the FIA, and even in the past, road safety has always been a topic for me. I'm on the good side of life. I've had a great life and still have, but I'd like to share. Well, I mean, it's a very complex system in terms of what actually a car can do in nowadays. And it's surprising on how many sensors, cameras and possibilities these cars have. And they're all there to help us, including me. And I quite enjoy first to have the opportunity to choose whether I want for that day, for that circumstance, those sort of support. But even more, testing those systems under extreme situations, it's very impressive what comes out of this one. First, safety. Safety for yourself, safety for people around. Not only inside the car and another car, pedestrians, children. So many obstacles in these days they are in the daily life that you have to deal with, that you have to be focused on. You have to react in the right way. And those systems basically are our second pilot, and they sometimes take the command if we take the wrong decision. Well, there's one reason, and that is it makes our life and everybody's around much more safe. Very simple. You be turning your radio on, you're not focused. You're doing whatever and you're not focused. The systems, they're always focused because they permanently run. And again, when we don't react, they do. Well, even I may be one of the best drivers in the world, I'm able to keep my focus when I run under race condition for 1.5 hours, no problem. But here we're talking about not driving a car on the limit, we're talking about normal daily usage situation. We're talking of maybe more distance of traveling than 1.5 hours. And can you always say you are 100% focused? No, none of us can. Not even me. Impossible. Those systems, they are. Take the Distronic, a very good example. We are in a normal rush hour situation on the highway, 100 kilometers per hour is the limit, and it's a stop and go. And it's sometimes rather annoying. You can't overtake anyway, so you've got to stay in line, switch on the system, takes over, accelerates, brakes whenever is needed. Even it will keep the line in future, and that's again your choice. You want it or you don't want it. I mean, it's a huge difference because the demand is a very different one. A Formula One car has to be fastest around the lap and about the race distance. A road car has to be good and perfect, not for me as a single driver, but for any human character that may drive a road car. And we're talking about not only in one country, we're talking about worldwide. And the demands are very, very different from one person to the other. And it's an extremely complex challenge. And I can only say compliments to the engineers that they have achieved what they have achieved. Well, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. You could imagine it's like a test drive. I mean, we are meeting on a test circle where we can physically, as you can hear in the background, run cars and drive them and test them to their extremes. And here now is coming a new opinion of a Formula One driver that has his point of view. And for the engineers, I think that's pretty valid to include all those different kind of views and maybe use the more extreme view that I'm coming from, because that's the most extreme you're probably going to handle. Basically, I mean, during those tests, as I would do in a normal Formula One test, whenever I feel something should be in a certain way, then we discuss and I inform how I see my point of view and what actually is possible to implement. And that's obviously the challenge for us to develop something that in the end of the day, for any driver, is perfect.
Well, we had an interesting
day so far. We have simulated various simulations in terms of accident procedures that you could have. So we had a good experience about the active blind stop situation, and it's pretty fascinating to see how intelligent those systems are. Well, sitting behind the star, the Mercedes, give you a lot of trust, give you a lot of confidence. Anyway, I mean, today it's an opportunity even for me, with all the experience I have, to try all those systems in a way that you would not normally do in daily life, to understand them and to see their limits and to see what capability they have.